Mob Psycho 100, an incredible show, a slice of life show, which is actually one of the best slice of life shows in my personal opinion. One of the things that make it so amazing is, of course, the characters in the show and the power that they possess. And that is actually the topic of today's video, the most powerful characters in Mob Psycho. Like, share, subscribe, comment down below, and any thoughts you have about this video. Now let us begin. Number 10, that being Hiroshi Shibata. So, Toshiro Suzuki was a powerful Esper. He searched the entire world to find Espers at his level of power. He found no one. But he did find Espers. He found Espers who were incredibly powerful, and then he found Espers who had an absolutely different level. Those Espers at an absolutely different level either made the leaders of divisions or put into the Ultimate 5. The Ultimate 5 is a group of the most powerful Espers throughout the entire world, excluding, of course, Toshiro himself. Now, Hiroshi Shibata is actually a member of the Ultimate 5. That alone means he is one of the most powerful characters in the entirety of Mob Psycho. Definitely one of the most powerful Espers in the entirety of Mob Psycho. He can use his psychic power and psychic abilities to increase his muscle mass, his physical form and physical body, so much so that he can gain so much physical strength. He can even overwhelm Dimple and majority of the other characters in the actual show. He was capable of overwhelming Dimple whilst in possession of one character who is incredibly psychically strong and another who is incredibly physically strong. That proves how powerful Hiroshi Shibata actually is. Now let's move on to number 9, that being Hanazawa. Smart, tactical, and quick to adapt, able to use pyrokinesis, telekinesis, and cloning techniques. By the end of the second season, his power was so great, it was far above the likes of majority of the other characters we had seen so far in the show. He's capable of overwhelming majority or many other characters. He is on par with the Ultimate 5, and when he was empowered by Dimple and the Divine Tree, his level of power was so great, he was even able to overpower or kind of overwhelm an even greater and more powerful Mob Psycho or Mob in comparison to the version of Mob he faced earlier on in the series. That proves how powerful Hanazawa actually is. Number 8, Sho Suzuki. Above many of the Claw characters, on par with the Ultimate 5, that alone makes him an incredibly powerful character. He's the son of the boss himself, the son of Toshiro Suzuki. With his power retaining ability, which makes him an OP character in general, he is capable of overwhelming and overpowering so many different characters. He actually easily defeated one of the members of the Ultimate 5. That alone makes him one of the most powerful Espers throughout the entire world. He is the son of the boss. I believe he has more natural power and natural talent in comparison to other characters like Hanazawa. That's why I put him above Hanazawa in this list. Let's move on to number 7, that being Minagichi. He's capable of passing his psychic power through vines and roots and stuff like that. He's capable of manipulating the natural life on the earth, the plants and the trees and the flowers and stuff like that. And with that ability, he's capable of overwhelming other characters like Mob. He was a kind of sidelined in season 3, but nonetheless, we understand the true power of this character, especially for the fact that he was actually in the Ultimate 5. So Minagichi is actually incredibly strong. And now let us move on to number 6, and that will be God Dimple, or Divine Tree Empowered Dimple. Okay, so Dimple himself was always capable of overwhelming or kind of holding his own against other powerful characters like Hanazawa and Mob. That already makes him an incredibly powerful character. He's capable of using people's bodies and so gaining their power in a way. He's capable of mentally manipulating other characters if they are not strong enough, and on top of that, his natural power allows him to hold his own against other powerful characters like Hiroshi Shibata himself, a member of the Ultimate 5. And when he is empowered by the Divine Tree, his level of power grows to such a level he is capable of drastically overwhelming Mob. Yes, Mob was holding back, but nonetheless, the fact that he's able to push Mob to that level proves how truly powerful he is at this stage. He's capable of defeating other characters. We kind of saw him easily defeat Minagichi. That already makes him on par with Ultimate 5 members. And he's capable of easily defeating other characters like Hanazawa. Now, let us move on to number 5, that would be Ryu Shimazaki. One of the stronger members of the Ultimate 5. The fact that he's in the Ultimate 5 again proves that he's incredibly powerful. He stated himself or thought himself to be the actual most powerful member of the Ultimate 5, being the only person behind or closest to the actual boss in terms of power. And though that is not completely correct, nonetheless he is an incredibly powerful character, given that he was able to go up against Hanazawa and majority of the other characters in the actual show, and especially in Division 7, and he was actually capable of holding his own against them. And throughout the entire battle he was holding back a lot of his power, and when he actually decided to use his whole power, he would have easily been capable of taking out the entirety of Division 7 along with Hanazawa and Ritsu Kageyama. His power is far above many characters, and the fact that he just fights just for the entertainment means he is actually incredibly dangerous. Let us move on to number 4. That would be Serizawa. So we didn't see many feats of him. We just know he's capable of tanking blows from a few powerful characters like Mob. But it was indicated or said by the boss himself that Serizawa is the most powerful member of the Ultimate 5. That alone makes him incredibly powerful and above majority of the other characters I've said on this list. We could still see a lot from this character. I hope we see a bit more of this character. I don't even know if the Mob Psycho series is carrying on. But nonetheless, this character is actually quite incredibly strong, and when he uses his full outright power, which we haven't seen, but when he does use it, you'll know how truly powerful he is. Now let us move on to number 3, Keiji Mogami. So, this character was powerful when he was alive, and he was even more powerful when he died. Keiji Mogami had like the longest fight I've ever seen with Mob. I think he's the one who fought with Mob the most. He is capable of destroying. He actually destroyed Mob mentally. I'll be honest, Mob's mentality isn't the best, but nonetheless, the fact that he pushed Mob to that level mentally proves how strong he is mentally. And he's not only strong mentally, he's also strong in the natural physical world, or physically. We know this given that he was capable of taking down Minegishi with absolute utter ease, and the fact that he's able to do that makes him an incredibly powerful character. Given that Minegishi is a member of the Ultimate 5, we have never seen him actually use his full outright power in the natural physical world, but if he was to, you know that he is not someone you should take lightly. Number 2, Toshiro Suzuki. So, the leader of Claw. He's the one who searched the entire world to find people who are on par with his level of power. And guess what? He found no one. But he did find who was still incredibly powerful. He considered them to be practically nothing in comparison to his power. Even his own son, who retained a bit of his power, was literally nothing to him. He had an incredible fight against Mob, and his fight against Mob had more destruction than any other fight we've actually seen in the entire show. He has a variety of different abilities, and he's been training his body to be incredibly powerful, and we actually saw this when he actually faced off against Mob and pushed Mob to his limits. Now, let's move on to number 1, it's kind of obvious who number 1 is going to be. It's going to be the only character left, and that is Shigeo Kageyama, otherwise known as Mob. So as I said already, Suzuki searched the entire world to find characters who were on par with his level of power. He found no one, and he found people who were nonetheless still powerful. Then Mob comes along and he actually defeats majority of the other characters he found, and on top of that, someone like Ryo was bloody terrified of him. He was holding back against Division 7 and Ritsu and Hanazawa and stuff. And when he finally decided to use his full area power and use the third eye, he felt Mob's power coming and he ran away. That's how much power Mob had in comparison to him. He was so afraid of the power he felt coming from Mob. Mob was capable of defeating Keiji Mogami. He was capable of defeating Shimazaki and Minegishi and Hanazawa and Dimple. And he is also ultimately capable of defeating Suzuki, as we saw that happening. Mob is still a child, he's still young, he's still growing, and when he grows, he'll gain even more power. And I know this given that if you look at Mob's power from the start of the series till now, you'll notice how truly powerful he has become, and he's still gonna get way more powerful. Yeah, anyway, that is my list on the most powerful characters in the entirety of the Mob Psycho series. I hope you'll enjoy the video. This is MC Info, and I'm out.